Hey everybody, I just wanted to take a minute or two to explain how the engine for Titan II gets started. So the engine is started with what amounts to a solid fuel 4th of July skyrocket, and it's attached to a flange right here. It's called the start cartridge. And when the start cartridge ignites, the exhaust from that is blown into a turbine right here. And when the turbine starts turning, it's attached with a set of gears to two pumps. This is one of them right here. There's a pump for the fuel and one for the oxidizer. And when the pumps begin turning, a little bit of fuel and oxidizer gets bled off into a gas generator right here. So the fuel and the oxidizer meet inside the gas generator where they ignite spontaneously, and that creates a high pressure flow of gas. And that gas gets fed through this pipe back up into the turbine. So it's a bootstrap operation. The start cartridge gets it going, and the gas generator keeps it going. So once things are in motion, fuel and oxidizer are pumped through a series of pipes to this point right here. And when the pressure behind these valves gets to be something like, don't quote me, but something like 300 pounds per square inch, then the pressure sequencer right here opens these valves, and fuel can then flow into the combustion chamber right here. Now the oxidizer is pumped directly into the thrust chamber, but the fuel takes a detour. The fuel goes down these pipes here. It goes down one pipe and back the next, and then back down and then into the combustion chamber. And the reason for that is that they discovered when they were designing these engines that if they mixed the fuel and the oxidizer simultaneously in the thrust chamber, then the initial explosion was big enough to tear the engine apart. But if they flooded the oxidizer in the chamber first and then added the fuel like a second later, that would damp the initial explosion enough to get it going steady state. And so that was very important. And the other thing that does is that the fuel is then actually used to cool the bells here so they don't melt down. So if you look inside, you can see that this is what's called the injector plate, and there are pairs of holes, and some of the holes are larger and some are smaller. The large holes are for the oxidizer and the small holes are for the fuel. And so when they meet here in front of the injector plate, they will burst into flames spontaneously, and Bob's your uncle. So take a look at this video of a test firing of a Stage 1 Titan II engine, and you can see what's going on here. And this all happens very, very quickly, so pay close attention. Watch right between the thrust chambers. When the start cartridge fires, you can see the black smoke come out of the turbine exhaust pipe. So you can see that the start cartridge fires only for like a second. And it doesn't take very long for the turbopump to spin up, for the pressure to rise, for the fuel and oxidizer to flow into the engine. All that happens almost instantaneously. It only takes 3 seconds for the engine to come up to 100% power. Very quickly. So there you go. Thanks for watching.